Would you ever consider a life without the cameras?
Yeah, absolutely. I do feel like I have there's a lot that's always on TV and a lot that's always out there, but I think my friends and my family know we really cherish a lot of our private times, and I would be just as happy being an attorney full-time and doing that.
Say what? That is Kim Kardashian talking to Poppy Harlow of CNN. Well, they're talking about a potential change in careers, I suppose. If any of you guys are fans of the NBA and see all those State Farm commercials with like Chris Paul saying, "What if I change careers though?" Apparently she's going down that same route. But what kind of career? Into the legal field? People probably have trouble believing this, but she's going to continue telling you. Watch more.
And I just, I would totally spend more time doing that. Cameras, no cameras.
You've talked about Alice's, your experience with Alice, saying that you were meant to be on this journey together. You're pretty close to becoming a lawyer. How close?
I'm probably going to take the bar February 25.
You passed the baby bar, which is harder?
Yeah, so the baby bar has like a 16% pass rate.
Wow.
I mean, it took me a few tries, you know.
Okay, you did it.
And then I have another one, I think it's like a 36% pass rate, so.
You got this.
I hope so.
About a year?
Yeah.
Poppy is very supportive as well. We mentioned Alice Johnson and how she was working with, the administration when Trump was in office to try and get her released, which was successful, and it changed both of their lives, is what she's pointing out. A few more details before we get you to hating, Brett. Let's go to this next clip.
Have experiences that just change you. And when I met Alice, and I felt like it was a fairly easy experience for me when I know it shouldn't be, to help get someone out. It takes 10, 20 years to do what I did in 6 months. And I didn't realize the fight at that time. Mm-hmm. To me, that was a few phone calls. And that really struck me, that however it was done, it was done. Mm-hmm. I'm so grateful, but like that process has to change.
She's all over it, Brett, as we take a look at this picture of Kim and Alice there. Quite happy. Maybe she can represent more folks and straighten this whole thing out. I have a couple more thoughts, but I'm curious of yours first.
It totally makes sense. Like, I know people who have been in the spotlight, like had fame and just left it and went into private life. And they did it because they just couldn't handle that anymore. And then eventually they went back to getting back into the industry a little bit more behind the scenes. That's one thing. Two, being a lawyer, if you can take classes and not sacrifice your main source of income and become a lawyer, and you're the kind of business person that Kim Kardashian actually is at heart, that'll only serve to help you. I know tons of people, and not tons, but like a few people went to law school just so that they could learn what goes into the process. And then they study for the bar, they pass it, they don't, but they don't actually practice law. They just have that at their disposal so they can understand the inner workings of the law when they're trying to achieve other goals that might not necessarily mean actually joining a law firm. But specifically when she's talking about helping get people out of prison who are unjustly placed there, the cameras help. The cameras are the reason that it only took you a few phone calls. It is not because Kim Kardashian is just really good at dialing numbers. It's because she has the Rolodex of numbers to dial and the high profile position that she has gotten through other means. Now, does that make her bad? No. Obviously, Jon Stewart 100% used his place of celebrity to advocate for something that no one knew he was even advocating for behind the scenes until he actually had to make statements about it, which was advocating for compensation for first responders of 9/11. But he did that. And I applaud her and anybody else who's willing to do anything other than just sit there, bat their eyes at the camera, say a few lines if they're an actor, or be on reality TV and just like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. If they're on a Kardashian show, like, that's really good. And I hope that more celebrities do that and do what Kim Kardashian seems to be doing, which is actually applying themselves and seriously undertaking some kind of attempt to level up in their ability to affect the change that they will just be lending their name to if they don't.
we do like to, I guess, lower folks down to what we've seen on TV or whatever, can be from athletes to actors to reality TV folks like this. And you point out the businesswoman part of her life. And it's definitely something that people think about as they get older. I've thought of it before. I was like, what am I doing when I'm 70 years old? What's the idea here? What's the next plan? And it looks like something more, a little bit more, I guess, helpful to folks than some clothing lines or makeup lines. I don't know what her businesses are, bro. I'm just now kind of following things that she's doing.